So we made it to Kravice Waterfalls, and it's before 8 o'clock, and that is an open boom gate. So the deal is, if you get here before 8, there's no one at the boom gate, so you just walk in and don't pay the admission fee. There's one other couple here we saw arrive, but other than that, we got the place to ourselves. Wow. Standard response. This is cool.
Super accessible, hey?
Yeah, short walk and we're here.
It's like ice! Nope.
What's wrong, Caylin? What's wrong?
What an absolute tease. It's so beautiful, but so bloody cold. We've done cold swims before. We've done swimming in snowmelt in Germany, but that is freezing.
To the bone.
I can't swim in that, unfortunately, but we're going to go further down and suss out what the next waterfall's about.
Caylin, what is this outfit you're wearing?
What do you mean?
Are you wearing a towel and boots?
This is what girls on the move wear, no?
Fashion.
Le fashion.
Thoroughly enjoyed our time here at Kravice Waterfalls. Checked out a few of the smaller waterfalls in the area as well. Now heading back to the van, and then we're going to go to Mostar next.
Or Sarajevo.
Or Sarajevo, we're not actually sure. One's 40 minutes away, the other's 2.5 hours away. We've got a few things to contemplate, like the weather and need a SIM card and stuff.
We have made it to Mostar after a short drive. We've headed straight for one of the most popular sites, or what Mostar is known for, which is the Old Bridge.
The Old Bridge, the original, was built in the mid-1500s and stood for about 470 years before the Croatian army blew it up back in the Bosnian War in 1993. This isn't the original, but it's a very close copy to what the original was.
We've largely been pulled here, I think, because of the heavy history. So we are absolutely going to do a free walking tour. Seems to be the best way to get information on a budget in Sarajevo for a little bit more of background and story as to what happened.
Yeah, we decided that we want to do a walking tour in Sarajevo, and that's at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, and we have about a 2-hour drive to get there. So we're just going to smash it out right now and make our way to Sarajevo, the capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina.
We had so much to learn about this resilient country on our walking tour. Due to the heavy history and wanting to be present, we didn't film too much. But what we can tell you is, the Bosnian War began in 1992 and lasted until 1995. It was an ethical-rooted war in Bosnia and Herzegovina, a former republic of Yugoslavia. It involved a multi-ethnic population of Bosnians, Serbians and Croatians. Over 100,000 people died and over 2.2 million people were displaced. The Bosnian War was characterised by bitter fighting, indiscriminate shelling of cities and towns, mass rape and ethnic cleansing. We're extremely thankful to have had the opportunity to learn about the history and experience this country. The final place we wanted to explore in Sarajevo was the abandoned Olympic bobsled track.
The bobsled track is so cool. Alright, so we made our way up here and it's raining a little bit. So the track was built for the 1984 Winter Olympics, which were held here. They had tens of thousands of spectators and all went really well. Until 1992, obviously, when the Bosnian War happened, and they used this as a strategic stronghold. It's now just got graffiti art and a bit of a tourist spot as well, and so we're currently walking on it. Oh, you got like 3 feet of air that time.
Oh shit, can we do it in slow-mo? So you might have noticed we have substituted our bathers and boardies for rain jackets and thermals. That's because it is significantly colder here in Sarajevo.
There's still over 1,000 landmines scattered around the country, and they're finding more and more every year. And there's still a few deaths from them every year as well. So we're sticking to the normal paths and being safe. We decided to walk the full 1.3 kilometre bobsleigh track just to see what's going on. And we came across this last turn. We're at like pretty much at the end, so final turn of the track. I'm over here and Caylin is all the way around the corner, somewhere in there. I'll try and zoom in. But because she was in front, she could hear me coming from ages away because of the curvature of the turn. Check it out. So I'm going to turn the mic around so hopefully you can hear it. Hey Caylin, how are you going?
Hey guys!
So she's easily 50, 60 metres over there. And I'm speaking quite softly now. How softly can we talk, Caylin?
I don't know how to talk softly.
Oh, right. That's a problem. What about now if I whisper? Oh, Caylin learnt to whisper. What? Wow, this is fun.
So this is our new friend. We were literally leaving Sarajevo, heading down towards Dubrovnik, and I saw him on the side of the road, curled up on the highway in a pile of rubbish, and I bawled my eyes out. And so Duncan and I talked about it, and we came back, and he was barking and he was so unsure, and then as soon as I sort of like dropped to my knees and said it was okay, he came straight over, and now we've given him some water and we don't really know what to do with him.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you belong to? Alright, so to catch you guys up on what happened with this guy. So for starters, we found him in the equivalent of a national park with a major road running through it. I say major, but it wasn't a busy road, and sort of nothing within 5 kilometres in any direction. But there are a lot of stray dogs here, so it's normal to have a stray on the street. We spent the next sort of hour, 2 hours, I don't even know how long.
2 hours, yeah. And this was all at 6 o'clock at night in like countryside Herzegovina.
Where no one speaks English, so thanks Google Translate. We showed a picture of the dog. We obviously got him some food and water. We asked the locals, no one knows of him. We went to 2 different towns. But when I asked around, all the locals thought it was super weird for him to be in the location that he was. And he clearly had been there for some time because he'd almost built himself a little bit of a nest with all the rubbish. We went to the police station, and the police station said, nope, your best bet is just to let him go. So when we Googled it, the only 2 animal shelters that popped up in this country are in Sarajevo, which we'd already driven an hour from, and the next stop was Mostar, which was about 2 hours from where we found him. We had no other choice but to keep him in the van, in which he was so good. He literally slept on the couch. I'm so nervous that he has fleas though, and he is a bit smelly, but
the smelliest dog I've ever met.
But you can't say no to him. He's got the cutest little face. We've decided that we are going to detour to Mostar and drop him at the animal shelter.
It's a Sunday today, so I'm not sure if they're actually going to be open. We're going to call them and hopefully they answer, and hopefully we get a good result there. So it's 7:30 on Sunday morning and we're going to make this happen.
Pulled over. We fed our little dog. I'm going to take him for a walk. I've made brekkie. He's so cute. It's going to be hard to say goodbye to this little dog. Hey, cutie. Hello. You have a good walk.
Hey. What are you doing? You going inside? Alright. You can do it. Oh, look at you. You just want love.
Yeah, he does. Such a good pup.
We'll take you back to Australia with us.
Oh, I wish.
It got pretty hectic after the last time we filmed, pretty chaotic. Things happened really quickly, so forgot to film. We're in the moment. So from there, I actually called the animal shelter in Mostar, and they said that they are absolutely at capacity. Have something like 62 dogs and 22 cats, and absolutely could not take on one more dog, regardless of how cute he is. She gave us another number to call, and they couldn't help out. Called another place, thought that they were really going to be a winner. Turns out they're a quarantine station for stray dogs in B&H who are then being exported to like Germany and the EU as pets. So those are the very few lucky ones who get a new start. We absolutely racked our brains, looked on Facebook, even rang a place in Sarajevo, the capital, where there are more stray dogs. And again, they were super chockers.
No, we sort of was shocked that no one wanted to take this beautiful dog. We sent pictures and videos of how cute he is and how friendly he was and how young and healthy he was. We spoke to vets, we spoke to shelters, we spoke to foster homes. English barrier was super difficult. Yeah. A lot of people either started screening our calls because they couldn't understand what we were saying or couldn't speak any English, and so it got really hard.
I think it was also, in our Western culture, we really have a connection with dogs. It's very different. It's really hard. And obviously what the country's gone through, I can understand it. It's very different. But it hurts our hearts to see animals in this way and without the home that they deserve.
So we drove to Mostar and sort of seriously had to start contemplating that if we couldn't find someone to be responsible for him, that we potentially had to let him go.
Which was shocking because it's a far different place from where we found him in the first place.
So our last option was the vet in Mostar who'd previously screened our call that day because they couldn't speak English. But when we got there and used Google Translate, we explained the situation, which he again highlighted that there was no way that the vet facility could keep him or take him on, but that he would also try and call some shelters. I'm assuming he called the same shelters that we did, but we were super thankful that he was being super helpful and trying. Meanwhile, there's me crying on the steps, like begging them to take this little dog on.
And it's Sunday, so there's not a lot happening. Finally, the vet said to us he is going to make one more call, and he has an idea that might work. So he called a client, a customer of his, and he was actually coming to pick up his dog that was sick. And he said that the customer's cousin is a farmer and has sheep and would be very interested in taking the dog. Yeah! When this guy arrived, he was like, "Oh, beautiful boy. Yes, boy, yes. I think he's a Croatian Shepherd," which I then later checked on Google, and he was. So he was a purebred Croatian Shepherd, like genetically bred to be up there working with sheep.
So happy story in the end, but super emotional. It was hard saying goodbye to that gorgeous little pup because I was super attached.
Even though I said don't be attached straight away.
I couldn't help it. But happy in the end. It's late. We are now heading across to Croatia. That's it for B&H.
Pretty wild turn of events in the last couple of days. Been a week here in total, and that wasn't the ending that we thought we'd have, but really glad that we were able to have that sort of silver lining moment and give him a second option or a second lease on life, and hopefully he has a great time.
I think he will. So we're going to say goodnight to you guys now. Have a rest, sleep, enjoy our very smelly van.
Needs a good wash.
And we'll see you tomorrow.